Welcome to Built to Go, a van life podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Wagg, coming to you from the College of Curiosity. Hello, everyone. I am releasing some of the content I made in VanFest. This is a bonus episode. It does not follow the normal format, but it does capture just the joy of everyone being at VanFest. And I interview a few people here about their experiences in van life, and we talk about their rigs and a little bit about cooking and, killing things, all the stuff that comes up in a normal conversation. And look, if you've ever listened to Terry Gross on NPR, I am no Terry Gross. I am not terribly good at interviewing. So don't think this is an in-depth, hard-hitting interview. What this is just a bunch of folks kind of sitting around a campfire situation, chatting. And it is indicative of the type of thing that happens at VanFest and other van life gatherings around the country. Speaking of which, I have to run this right away because this event is this weekend. I'm recording this on February 17th and publishing it on February 17th, 2026. This event starts this weekend, February 20th, and if you can, you should go. This just in again, join us at the Skoolie Swarm. And we have a special coupon code for you. This is February 20th through March 2nd in Melrose, Florida. That is not the one that was in California that had a TV show. This one is in Florida. It's just east of Gainesville. And yes, you must like alligators. For more information about this event, go to www.skoolieswarm.com. And the special coupon code is... Are you ready? See, this is a secret code just for us VanFest people. I'm probably not supposed to share this with you, but I'm going to anyway. The code is VanFest Special, all one word, VanFest Special, and that'll give you $30 off. So there you go. Here.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, folks, we're recording
live here at VanFest Liftoff 2026. It is actually Florida today as opposed to the Antarctica it was yesterday. I wish I had brought shorts, and I didn't, so I am sitting here with my polka dot umbrella, trying to fend off the shade, with two lovely women who have interesting stories to tell because they're both van lifers, and they're also both truck drivers. Both these women, when they get in their van, they're in their little vehicle. So why don't you guys introduce yourself and say all your socials and all that good stuff?
Hi, how you doing today? It's such an honor to be on this podcast. I've listened for quite some time. Very good content. My name is Lakeisha Martin. I am a published author. If you'd like to find some of my books, they are located on Amazon.
And we'll have links in the show notes.
Yes, that's spelled Lakeesa. I am an over-the-road truck driver. My IG is Real, R-E-A-L, Queen, Queennkee. Because it's
lots of E's.
Yes, because it's Queenkee. Because the
That's two T's, not
was
three.
so nice that my mama done it twice. With that being QueenKee, but that being said, that's also my CB handle. I am an over-the-road truck driver for over 31 years.
Channel 19?
Channel 19, break 19.
Yeah, go to another one.
Right? I also had a podcast called Trucker's Life, TRUKERSLYFE, during the pandemic as well.
Okay.
But what I do here is I am a van lifer, part-time ish, kind of like warrior of the weekend kind of thing. I go out with my Toyota Sienna that I've fully converted. His name is Sire. Of course, because only a king can carry a queen home.
True.
That is true.
And what we do on YouTube is I have a YouTube channel called MakingQueenMoves. That's because I'm a queen. I'm a chess player. And I apply a lot of the strategic things that I learned from chess to my everyday life. So it just makes sense to share that with other people that might be inspired to do van life or just get out there and just live your best life. So that's what the channel's about.
And I got to tell you about
her rig here. First off, like I say, minivans are the way to go if you want stealth. This thing is just a maroon minivan. Doesn't, don't think anything of it. With tinted windows, looks like nothing. And then she opens the door, and it is tricked out. She's got the checkerboard floor. She's got red thing.
Describe your van real quick.
Describe your van real quick.
Well,
you know how to say it better than me.
It's just my home on wheels. So when you open the door, it goes from being a regular minivan to actually a place where I live in this space and I feel at home. Everything you have in your home that you need to make you comfortable, I have in my van. I have a refrigerator freezer, I have a microwave, I have battery power, I have running water, I have a porta potty toilet. I have everything that when I step in that van, I'm perfectly comfortable. Its decor, of course, is the chessboard black and white checker because I am a chess player and my favorite color is red. So there's a lot of little blinging red curtains and red everything accents all over. And then I have my 2 checker pillows that are in the seats that have monogrammed on them, checkmate.
Very nice.
Very nice. She has done the dream here. She's got the vehicle, and now she has made it her own. And this is something everybody can do. Let's introduce our next guest here. So go ahead and tell us about yourself and what your rig is like.
I am Carolyn Mitchell, and I've been a trucker for about 13 years. A jack of all trades before that, so yeah, whatever. I figured out after 4.5 years in an insurance company, I was allergic to paperwork. And that's when I decided to be, my favorite thing to do was drive. Every day of my life I would drive. And so I said, I'll be a truck driver. That'll be fun. I learned how, because gosh knows I couldn't do it. Couldn't back up a tiny little pop-up camper. But I learned it works, and I've been doing it for about 13 years. I saw on YouTube one time, somebody sent me a YouTube about this van that was that was all made up into a house and everything, and I was like, I looked at that, I watched it, watched it about 20 times, and I sent it out to everybody, and I said, this is my retirement home.
Nice.
And then it was only a dream. A couple of years later, my mechanics is like, yeah, your SUV's not going to make it through next year's inspection. Start looking. And I started looking at SUVs, and because I can't drive a small car. It's just not possible. So I started looking, and I went, oh my gosh, they're expensive.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how much would it cost to buy a van? And I said, it'll cost like half the price of an SUV. So even if I put $20,000 into it, I'm still cheaper than getting an SUV.
It's true.
And so that's where it began. And I did this right as COVID began, before the van prices went up. I found a 1-year-old Ford Transit high roof, and it was straight up cargo van, nothing to it. And I've been making it ever since, just a little bit at a time. Built the bed, put the windows in so that it's got lots of light. And it's everything kind of has multi-purpose. So my dining room turns into a bedroom. My front bench seat can pull out into another bed. So Dad has one space, I've got another. We can travel together. I've got the kitchen with a deep sink so that I can wash my hair when I need to. And the faucet can spray outside.
That's great.
Because if I get sandy, go to the beach, get sandy feet, I don't want to bring it in the van. So all these little details, this is what I've been thinking about and doing. And it's just been a work in progress.
It probably will be forever.
Absolutely will be forever.
You're never on the last edition of building your van.
Exactly.
So why'd you guys come to VanFest?
Why'd you guys come to VanLife? We're at VanLife. Why'd you guys come to VanFest? Why are you here specifically today?
Specifically today, I came to VanFest because people bullied me into showing my van. As I walk through the building process, I'm in the process of loading in the videos of how I built the van. I'm about a month behind on that. But my family and friends, they were kind of like on a Messenger or whatever watching me as I was building. So they got to see what the final build was. And they're all like, so you're going to show it, right? I'm like, to who? Like, to people. Like, how? Like, this is my house. This is where I live. This is where I live and do my traveling. I like the fact that I'm stealth. I like the fact that nobody knows that I'm in here when I'm in here, right?
Yeah.
And so now you want me to just show people? So it's in there? And so I didn't understand what they were saying. They're like, no, go to like VanFest. I was like, what's a VanFest? Okay, so this is my first time. Now, I knew about RTR, which I went to just prior to here. So As a matter of fact, I only had 2 days from the time I touched down at my home base Sticks and Bricks in Jacksonville to get down to here. So it was like, okay, so this is actually, other than the time that I showed it at Courtside, which was only for 1 day, this is the only time that I've actually opened it up and showed it. I started to build Hallows Eve, so the day before Halloween, and I had to finish it prior to January 1, because that's when I left to drive to Courtside. So 45 days to build it, and this is the first time I've actually shown it.
Well, it shows well.
Well, it shows well. You got no problem there.
Thank you. During the pandemic, when I launched Trucker's Life, it was Trucker's Life was to help other truck drivers. And so I also wanted to help other people that were traveling along the road for safety. I am a safety instructor.
that's awesome.
I'm a 2 million mile safe driver out here on these roads, and I've been doing it for 31 years. But at the time that I wrote the book, I had been driving for about 25, 26 years. And it took me 10 years to come to the fruition that this book needed to be written. But it's called the HER method, HER, and that's heed, execute, and respond. And what that is that it's a systematic way of doing things every time that trains you to always be safety aware. So after you do them so many times with repetitiveness, it becomes like second nature, and it raises your heightened of self-awareness to keep you safe when traveling the highways and the byways. And so if you want to get it, you can Google my name, Lakeisha Martin.
And the links in the show.
And the links in the show notes.
And it's on Amazon, and I think you can get the digital version for about $3 or $4. You know,
That's not bad.
Yes, thank you so much. Whatever. I guess I might have to turn these in.
That's
good.
All right, tell me
mine,
about
too.
your rig.
All right, tell me about your rig and how you got into
Why you're here.
why you're here.
Well,
let's start over.
some
Let's start over.
podcast,
Why are you at VanFest?
some podcast that I've listened to for a while now, since I've been building, I was like, I looked up all these podcasts that had anything to do with van life, and I found yours. And then you're talking about VanFest,
Oh, yeah.
and that was last year.
Yeah, the one I was supposed to come
Yeah, the one I was supposed
And
to come to
didn't.
and didn't. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, there's one on the East Coast, because I'm outside of Philadelphia. So East Coast, Florida is still a weekend travel. I can totally do it.
Yeah, down 95.
And so I came down here last year for the first time, and I just camped. And it was my first ever van life anything. So I'd taken my van out for travel, but I've never been in part of the community.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting thing.
Well, that's an interesting thing. There are people who, and I was one of these, who do van life without any of the
Yeah.
community stuff. The community stuff is optional, but
community.
boy, is there community. You do not have to be alone or be lonely out on the road if you don't want to. I mean, how many friends have you made here since we've been here for 2 days?
I
How many
have
friends have you
met
made?
so many people. And the funny thing is, I'm an introvert. I mean, I like people, but I'm not normally going out to meet them and talk to them.
Yeah,
90% of the people here are introverts.
I think so.
But
I think so.
everybody is so welcoming, and you just say hi, and all of a sudden it's like, I got friends for life now.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing.
Yeah,
Everyone
it's
here
kind
is
of
in the
amazing.
same
Everyone
WhatsApp
here is in the same WhatsApp group.
People say,
and
"Oh,
I need this, or I'm having trouble with this, and like then everyone jumps in and says, "Oh, I can help," and problem is solved instantly. I'm old, right? I'm 60 years old. I've been parts of many communities. This is, if not the most friendly, it's certainly in the top 5 most friendly communities I have ever been involved with.
So, tell me about
So,
your rig.
tell me about your rig. You got it new during the
And then
pandemic,
you built all that stuff
and then
in.
you built all that stuff in. Now, where did you learn the skills to build all that
I
stuff?
had no skills. I started from zero, but I had a dad who did not do the work, but I ran things by him when I was questioning. And YouTube University.
Oh, yeah, gotta love it.
Oh yeah, gotta love it.
I watch things religiously, and I'm like, rewind it to see how did they put that together, and how, my bed is a bunch of slats that just slide, so that I don't have to worry about, I found how to do that on YouTube,
Yeah.
and then I made it my own.
Yeah,
Because-
You always have to make it your own. You're not going to get handed a recipe where you had 1/4 cup of screws
Exactly.
and 2 inches of plywood. It's always going to be custom to what you're doing.
Exactly. And so I did it. I did everything myself because I looked at having somebody else do it, and I'm too cheap. I can't do it. And I figured I can learn. Dad's like, you can learn. this is a circular saw. This is a jigsaw. This is how you do it. And so from there, I just started learning, and I had a blast. I just, put in the floor, build the beds, build the front bench, and how do you do plumbing? I know everything about my electrical system, but my nephew, who's an electrician, actually did the work with me watching him.
Okay, that's good. So you knew.
Okay, that's good. So
Exactly.
You knew you were safe.
The one thing I didn't want to do is burn down my van.
Yeah, no, that's not a good time.
Yeah, no, that's not a good time.
But I do know how to fix it. So I know where all the wires are. I know everything about it. So he just made sure it was right the first time.
Now, when you started this,
I imagine you, like most people, were like, boy, I'd really like to do this, but it's so overwhelming. I mean, you're not a
Exactly.
plumber or an electrician or a cabinet maker or a carpet layer or any of those things. How did you get the courage to say, wait, I can do this piece by piece?
I think, A, I am just too gosh darn cheap that I couldn't have somebody else do it. But B, I took it in small bites.
that is the secret.
That is the secret.
And
Yep.
the biggest thing I learned is that the first trip I took in the van was the week I got it. I threw a mattress in the back, and I went up to Cherry Springs State Park in Pennsylvania, where it's dark skies.
Perfect.
And
Yep.
that was my first trip, and it worked. And I'm like, okay. And then as the more I used the van, the more I understood how I would use the van. And that changed some of my perspective. Did I want a full-time bed, or did I want a dinette? Well, I have kids that are grown, but they like to travel with me. And so I wanted them to be able to sit around and play games at the table. So I wanted a dinette that I could change, but I'm too lazy, so I didn't want to make it a project to change it from a dinette back to the bed, and so I made it so that the slats just pull out and I can drop it. It takes 10 seconds.
You picked your priority.
You've picked your priority and you stuck to that, and you're going to make everything else work around that. That's a good way to do it. So now that you've built the van, and
it's a
not done
work
because
in
no van is
progress.
ever done. Absolutely. What are your long-term goals? Like, do you want to see every national park, or
In
do you have
5
anything
years,
like that?
I will retire from trucking. And then my kids will know where I am by looking on an app, because I will be wherever the wind blows me and wherever the temperature is nice.
Chasing 70.
Chasing 70. Yeah, that is the guy who created the website chasing70degrees.com is here, and his website lets you plan that. Like it will tell you, like, if you're here a week from now, you can go to all these places and it'll be 70 degrees.
That sounds like
so
a good life.
that sounds like a good life to me.
So, and one of the first things, well, maybe not the first thing, because my birthday's Christmas. I'll be 65 on Christmas of 2030. So I think January 1st I should be off. I should retire at that point.
Perfect.
And so I'm probably not going to go north. So
And see, she is going to talk.
Oh, see, she is going to talk.
All right, good.
My-
Hold on.
All right, good. Hold on. Well, now you got to introduce yourself any way you want. You can pick any name.
Hi,
we'll
I'm
give you.
Lauren from Missouri, and I am in a minivan. Okay, good. Most of my travel now is like go, 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 because I'm on limited schedule, so I have to hurry up and get to the destination, see as many things as I can see, and then get back home.
exactly.
And I'm ready to be at a more leisurely pace.
Yes, exactly.
And you're one of those.
You're one of those
rare
East Coast van lifers who's never seen the West, which is a whole
Western
other
van
world.
life-
Western van life,
Mississippi
west
Bay
of
is
the
a
Mississippi
different
Bay
van
is a
life.
different van life than east of the
Just like
Mississippi.
driving a truck.
Just like driving a truck, it's different.
I
am guessing you know I-95 pretty well at this
I
point.
could tell you every mile marker. I know where every truck stop is.
Yeah. And then you get out west.
And then you get out
on
west
I-80
and you get on I-80 in
It's like you're
Wyoming.
driving on
It's like you're
Mars.
driving on Mars.
The next town is
the next
100
town is
miles
100
away.
miles
You see
away.
signs that say
You
next
see
gas
signs that say next
150
gas
miles.
150
geez.
miles.
Totally
It's a
different
totally
thing.
different thing. Neither is better, in my opinion. But
it's a lot easier to
it's a
find
lot
places to
easier
sleep
to
out
find
west, I
places
can
to
tell you
sleep
that.
out west. I can tell you that.
And where have you gone?
And where have you gone?
In my minivan, I haven't went west in my minivan at all. Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I've been to Oregon and Montana, but not in van life.
I'm going to count Oregon as well. I'm going to count Oregon
It
as well.
is, but not in. I haven't went in my minivan. I flew there,
Oh,
so
okay,
it's different travel.
Okay.
No, so I've done a lot of the Midwest because I'm from Missouri. So Missouri, Illinois, Tennessee, Florida.
And there's plenty to see there. And there's plenty to see there. I mean,
Well, and as we said earlier, you can find interesting things almost anywhere.
Oh
So
my goodness, yes.
it's us. I mean, I will say that till I'm blue in the face. If you give me your zip code, I will give you at least a weekend's worth of interesting things to see. And it's not that I'm some magical guru guy. It's just that I look. I was on another podcast recently, and they gave me that challenge. They came up with places that were so boring that no one could ever find anything to do. And I found all kinds of crazy stuff there. And now I want to go visit.
Future Jeff breaking in here. The name of that podcast was Treasures of Our Town. I will have a link to the pertinent episode in the show notes.
The flyover states. That's not really a thing. That's not really a thing. There's something interesting everywhere.
The fun thing I find with having the van is I can go someplace and I don't have to worry about it being on the beaten path. I can go off trail, find the weird things that nobody thinks about, and just explore and enjoy. And that's what I want. Like, when I go someplace, I don't want to be the tourist
with all the people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a couple here, and their expression going where the people are.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I'm fine going where people are. Like, I like going into New York City, and van life in New York City, I only go up for the day most of the time.
It can be done, but that's rough.
Well, finding parking for the high roof is the biggest challenge. So most of the time, I'll park over at the Staten Island ferry, and on Sundays it's free out there. And then take the ferry over and just, take the subway, Uber, taxi cab, whatever, through New York, come back, and I've got all my house with me then, and take my time. And it's just easier that way. But I like that stuff. But I also like, when I went down to Savannah, I took this kayak tour down it was awesome. And I parked at the boat ramp and just parked the van there because it was New Year's Day. And I had been in Savannah for the fireworks for New Year's Eve, and I'm like, well, I better get to the boat ramp because if I oversleep, at least I'm there. And so it was perfect. It was quiet as can be, and it was just beautiful to wake up and you see some birds and some wildlife going on, and just roll out of bed, roll into the kayak, and I had the best time.
And you brought up the very good point. The way to do van life in big cities is park. Use the local transportation. I mean, if you want to come to do van life in Chicago, I can tell you a whole bunch of places to park in Chicago.
Yeah, but if you
move, you're in trouble. It's like you got to find that parking space and keep it, and then take the L or take the buses, go or walk. Don't think you're going to drive from place to place. And that's a funny thing. Like out in the West, we're going to drive to here. We're going to drive. They don't even think about that. But in these big eastern cities, you can't really do that.
It's not
like the movies where they find the parking space right in front of the building they're going to. And you don't.
And that's the fun thing, because like the cities, they're set up for you to be able to walk to things and be able to just take the transport. They're like Chicago's got that loop. Yep. And it's easy.
It's pretty easy. Yeah. It's pretty easy. Earlier, we were all just chatting, and we all consider ourselves introverts. So, would you say you're an introvert?
Introvert and extrovert. It depends on.
You're on the spectrum.
It just depends on my mood, I think, because I very much like socializing, and I'll go up to anybody and introduce myself. But if I'm not in the mood for it, not feeling it, then
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
Someone once described it to me that introverts are people that have to expend energy to be with other people, and extroverts are people who get energy from being with other people.
I think there's some truth to that. I don't know. Maybe I really think I'm a little bit of both. Because
well balanced individual.
Nobody's ever said that to me before.
It's interesting that van life.
Van life people.
Van life people is like that.
Van life people is like that, though. It's like it's the most introverted thing in the world to live in your vehicle that you have built out to your exacting specifications. It is literally for you. Everything in there is the way you want it. It's for you. It's like a very selfish thing, not in a bad way.
And yet here we all are together
in Florida. Some of us have driven thousands of miles to be here.
Why don't we just get a hotel?
Well, and I love, this is my first van event, but I love concerts and that type of social. But whenever I'm planning a trip, it's usually, I like hiking, I like kayaking, I like the outdoors. And so if I'm planning a trip, it's usually a very more of an introverted planning, because I am usually by myself. But this is great too.
Van life is exactly. It's life. Van life is just life. It's what you want. If you want, the Skoolie people here follow each other around all year round. They go from place to place. They have a community. They have kids. They go to school together. They, today we're going to go learn English in this bus, and we're going to learn French in this other bus. That's a thing that they do. And then there's other people who will never ever come to one of these events who've been living in their van for 10 years. And they don't have a YouTube channel. I met a guy this morning. 7 years ago, he turned off the news. And he avoids the news utterly and completely. He doesn't want to hear about it, doesn't want to hear anything about politics. He's created his own little bubble, and the way he can manage that is because he's in his van. It's really a unique way of living where you get to set all the rules.
That's what I like.
I don't know. That's what I like.
Since you've been wandering around here
for a few days, what have you seen as far as interesting rigs go?
Okay, I haven't been able to visit that many rigs because I've been visiting with the people.
Okay,
that's the best.
Okay, the people
they
matter,
do, and I love that, and I've really liked going to the seminars.
Yeah, they have talks here.
They have talks here. I just went to one about women in van life. That was really interesting. You get women's perspectives, and van life is it's interesting. If you watch YouTube, I feel like there are almost more solo female van life channels than anything else. And they do well. They're popular, and sometimes they're popular for bad reasons. But this is definitely not a male sport or anything like that. I mean, there's couples.
There's lots of men, and
there's also lots of women.
I think I've seen a lot of solo females, and maybe that's because I am one, and so then maybe I'm drawn to them. But it's great.
The talks today. Some of the stuff was about women have different challenges than men in van life as they do with regular life, and some of them are unfair challenges.
They're not stopping anybody.
They're not stopping anybody.
People are
can't do van life. I'm a woman. That is not a thing. At all.
And maybe it is for some women. Maybe they do have that fear, and so they're not able to overcome it or don't want to overcome it, and so that's not something that they're comfortable with.
That's true.
But
that is true.
Like a lot of the women there said, trust your intuition, trust your gut.
Yeah,
there was a whole lot of talk.
About trust your gut.
I'm a pretty
science-based person. I don't do superstition and stuff, but the trust your gut thing is interesting because there's this concept of pre-consciousness, which means you noticed something, but you didn't really realize that you noticed it. It was just you vaguely caught something out of your eye, out of the corner of your eye, and you didn't put two and two together. But the feeling that came with that is still there. And listening to that just means that, wait, I'm not getting vibes. What really happened is I saw something I didn't like, and I can't quite figure out what that was. But it doesn't matter. You saw something you didn't like, and taking action on that is probably smart.
And you're in a van.
You get to drive away.
So in some ways, van life is a little
safer for everybody, because if you're in a bad situation, you can literally drive away.
I am very comfortable on the road because, again, you're right. You can drive away. And even in a truck, where you can't always drive away because time limits and everything else, you're not allowed to drive after
That's right, you get 10 hours, right? That's right, you get 10 hours, right?
Yep, 11 hours of driving and a 14-hour day.
Okay.
And then when that's up, you have to take 10-hour break, and you cannot stop that break. So when I go out, I know certain places to park. I tend to like the rest stops because
me too.
The truck stops are very noisy, but certain times that's all you got. But you just make smart choices when you're getting out and you're looking around. You make sure to notice things before going around and stuff, and you're fine. There's a lot of people, when I had talked about van life and when I started trucking, they're like, "Oh, aren't you going to be scared?" One of my friends gave me is a can of mace when I was in the truck.
Yeah.
She's like, "You're going to need this." I never needed it.
You're probably not going to need it, but it can be nice to have. Oh, there you go. Lauren just pulled out her own mace here, which would be illegal in Canada, to be clear. We can talk about this. This came up at the women's thing. Is some people carry? I have bear spray because sometimes I'm in bear country. I mean, but the idea came up of maybe can you use bear mace on people? And someone said, well, you can't. It's illegal. And it is illegal. But if somebody's attacking you, I don't care if you're going to hit them with a clod of... Yeah, legal. Go ahead, get sued and be safe. I mean, I'm not going to go quite the, rather... what is that? Rather... Judged by 12 than carried by 6, or whatever the heck that thing. I mean, come on, we can be reasonable. But honestly, if someone's trying to attack me or something, I'm not going to think twice about using bear spray. And
or the mace or the wasp spray.
Or the wasp spray or anything.
You fight back with whatever means you've got.
Exactly. And so, to address this very clearly, in the U.S., pepper spray and mace are legal. They come in spray cans. They shoot a very long stream. You can get 20 feet maybe. And you aim for their eyes, and then you get away. The whole point of this is so you get away. Bear spray is a little different. It doesn't spray the same way. Bear spray creates a cloud. And for bears, this works really well because it creates this orange cloud, and when the bear goes into the cloud, they have an object to avoid, which is that cloud, and they back away from the cloud. So if you would use it on a person, you would not use it that way because the cloud wouldn't really do anything. You actually have to spray it on them, and it's not really designed for that. But again, if you're attacked, who cares? And the big difference between bear spray and pepper spray, it's the same chemical, is that bear spray is legal in Canada. It is not legal to use it on people in Canada, but it is legal to have in Canada, whereas they will take your pepper spray and mace away.
Did not know that.
Just to be clear on that. That was how that discussion started, because somebody said they had pepper spray and it was taken away at the border. And when you cross into Canada, they will say, "Do you have any pepper spray?" Because a lot of people do. And I usually don't, although I happen to right now because I found some in my hallway. It's just laying in the hallway of my apartment building. I'm like, I'll pick that up because we have kids. And, so, yeah.
The only time I've gotten the pepper spray out when I was out hiking was a wild boar and 3 little babies ran in front of me. And I don't know how well mace would work, but it was all that I had, so I grabbed that. But that's the only time I've even felt a need to grab it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That is a situation where I would too. Honestly, most of the time with my bear spray, if something happened, I'd be like, where did I put that? I know it's in here somewhere. Rumble, rattle, But for bears, it is actually really useful. More than a gun, believe it or not. You were more likely to live in a bear attack with a bear spray than a gun, according to some studies. I'm always talking about fun killing things and getting killed.
Yeah, I'd probably hurt myself with a gun.
I'm not even going to address that topic. It is so complicated. That is, I'll bring it up very quickly. Lauren is from Missouri. I am from Illinois. If she crosses the border with her gun and I cross the border with my gun, both of us could be illegal depending on a whole bunch of different things. It's so hard to keep track of stuff. So, all right. Playing chess over there. They're playing chess over there.
All right, so let's do one.
Let's do one last thing. Here.
You guys are
What should
supposed
we?
to ask me
You guys are
questions.
supposed to ask me
So
questions.
I'm going to open the floor.
So I'm
You
going to
guys can
open the
ask me
floor. You
anything
guys can ask me anything you want. Take, because it's editing, we can do whatever we want. So any questions you have for me about any aspect of anything.
Well, I have a question for the group.
Okay.
Doesn't necessarily have to be
Okay.
just for you.
That's fine.
But what kind of foods do you eat most on the road, and specifically non-cook items?
That's a great question. Okay, you got an answer?
Non-cook items are harder.
They are, but that's why I'm asking.
And I like to have some snacky veggies and stuff. Like I like the baby carrots and the cucumbers and hummus and things like that. Now, do you have a fridge? Is the question.
I have an ice box.
So you don't.
Okay.
Icebox, no fridge is what we're talking about. Okay.
So you can
Yeah.
keep things cold. So that matters the most. And that's where I do the veggies and things like that. And chicken is really good because you can eat that cold. You don't have to cook it, but it's also good hot if you happen to want to. And same with pork. Like my dad makes me pork chops or whatever and cuts them into tiny little strips, and I can sit and eat that while I'm on the road just cold. And it tastes delicious, and it's no cook. So as long as you've got a cooler. If you don't have a cooler, then you're more into the drier foods, like the nuts and things like that. And
Nuts and twigs.
Nuts and twigs.
or
Twigs.
you can do, like, I'm not a bananas person because they will ripen way too much for me before I ever get to eat them. But they're great for if you want a snack on the road. They're high power snacks. And there's lots of different options.
One of the things I do.
So I like to have a way to heat food and cool food. So I usually travel that way, but I haven't always. So I've got a few strategies. One is that I will always try to eat out of the can. A lot of people think that's disgusting. I will actually, if I have a can of Progresso soup, I heat it and eat it out of the can. And I've done the research. People are like, oh, you can't do that because that can's not meant to be cooked in and you're releasing chemicals. You're not, because the temperature that they make the soup at is hotter than putting it on the stove.
So I do that,
and that saves cleanup. If I get a plastic fork, all I have to do is heat it up. Now, if I don't have a way to heat it up, one of the things I've done is those Hormel Complete meals. They're frozen dinners that don't need to be frozen.
You find them in the
And you find them in the supermarket. And if it's a day like this, you put it in the dashboard and leave it there for 2 hours, and it's hot. And you don't have to do anything. You just open it and eat it. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's food. And then I also will do like sandwiches, but like specifically tuna fish, because you need bread, tuna, and mayonnaise, and you can get mayonnaise packets that don't need to be refrigerated.
None of it needs to be refrigerated.
None of it needs to be refrigerated. You have everything you need right there.
There's a lot of stuff like that. But
there's a lot of stuff like that, but
one
of the things I've noticed is that it's harder for people who don't like meat, because then they're relying on all these fresh veggies, and a lot of those really need refrigeration or they go bad quickly. But there are, like, an avocado can sit out. I'm never going to eat one, but I know some people do. Berries, strawberries, bananas can sit out, although you have to be careful in the van because they get banged up. Apples, of course, stuff like that.
The main
thing I eat in the van when I'm out for a long time is stone soup.
What is stone soup?
What is stone soup? You may have heard the parable of stone soup, where the traveler comes and doesn't have anything to offer the soup except the stone. And so he puts the stone in the pot, and then another villager comes and says, well, I have some carrots, and then so I have some potatoes, and they go on and on and on, and then they end up with this whole soup. So I make that for myself. I skip the stone part. But all I mean is that I don't buy meals, I buy ingredients. And then I just throw everything in a pot or whatever I feel like that night. I buy a whole bunch of compatible ingredients, and I make dishes that I will never make again. It's just what happened to me in there. And I've done this enough that I've learned that, like, oh, this is a little too salty, so I can add some balsamic vinegar to take that down. Or this doesn't have enough interesting flavor, so then I'll add some salad dressing, and that'll beef it up a bit. You know, that kind of a thing. Why, thank you. What is this? Oh, someone just handed me a sticker. In fact, it was Darren of Darren and Karen, the rhyming duo, news aficionados.
Going to be with him
at 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock. We're going to be on stage at 4 o'clock. The AV here is about as janky as my rig. And he handed me a sticker that says, Community on the Road. Find crossroads.com. Oh, is the developer here? All right, hey. Apparently this is the read things on everything. So I just got this just in. Have you heard about the swarm on Route 66? Join us in Pontiac, Illinois, May 2nd through 13th, 2026, for the 100th anniversary of Route 66. Show off your rig downtown, May 2nd through 3rd. Gather May 3rd through 13th at local fairgrounds, then head out at an optional small caravan down Route 66, a Centennial certified event. Get your kicks on Route 66 with the Skoolie Swarm folks. Register now at www.SkoolieSwarm.com. And as a resident of Chicago, I must point out that if you do not start at the Art Institute, you are not seeing all of Route 66.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Can I take a picture? Absolutely.
Yeah, actually, that sounds like a fun event. These guys, first off, the Skoolie Swarm people, I have never done Skoolie Swarm, but they are here, and they are some of the most awesome, coolest people ever. When I first came to VanFest 2 years ago, and I didn't know anybody, and I was just like this weird guy in the ambulance, they were like, hey, come have dinner. You know, they were just like instant family. It was amazing. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the whole event, but I might be able to get down there in May and visit some folks. And as a matter of history, this guy built out the most crazy double-decker schoolie ever, and it is parked in Pontiac, Illinois, and you can tour it. And this thing, I mean, this is like the mother of all schoolies. It is insane, and it's permanently parked.
You never know what's going to happen at VanFest.
You never know what's going to happen at VanFest. You just sit here with a microphone, and people show up, and stuff happens.
So, and then I heard you say that we invited you into our little potluck
You did.
the first year.
Yes, you did. 2 years ago. Yeah,
Nice.
it was over there. I was in a.
Yeah.
Ivan was parked there,
Yeah.
and then I can't remember their names, but they had the school bus that was cut in half that had the Jeep on the back.
That was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was you guys. Yeah. And you have a new rig this year.
I do.
Yes.
It's yellow. It's over
Yeah.
in front of us.
And I talked with your husband, and we went under the hood and played around with stuff, and yeah, it was.
That's awesome.
It made this is my event that I want to come to every year because of you guys.
Aw, nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And
Thanks.
so, who does Skoolie UP now?
Jennifer and Frank. the
Okay,
Lionsgate
yeah,
dudes.
and they're not here this year.
No, they've never been here.
Oh, they've never been here.
No.
Oh, so some of you guys just went there.
Yeah, we go.
Oh, okay, 'cause
They
that's-
came to our third event in 2020,
Gotcha.
and they were like, "We want to do this," and we were like, "Do it." And they were like,
Yeah.
"All right, we're gonna do it up there." And I said, "But you can't call it Skoolie Swarm." And I said,
Right,
well,
right,
of course
good,
not.
come on, name, yeah.
So they do it in Skoolie UP up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Yeah, and I'd seen being from Chicago, I have no excuse not to go
You
to
have
that.
none.
Other
Seriously.
than I'm never home anymore.
Yeah, I get it. And it is beautiful up there too. And they put on a really good event. It's like super summer camp for families.
And to be clear for anybody listening, Skoolie doesn't mean you have to have a school bus.
No.
You have to have something.
Yes.
They don't care what it is. It started with Skoolie people. Skoolie people are their own breed of van life, but they're the open breed. If you've got a rig, it's a Skoolie as far as they're concerned.
Welcome, come with us. Yep, awesome.
Well, cool. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, absolutely. You can blame Bruce. He was like,
Good
"You
job,
know
Bruce.
Jeff, right?"
You know what you're
I
doing.
know
Bruce
Jeff.
knows what's going on.
Nice. He's like, "You don't know him? You need to know him."
All right, my batteries are getting low, so let's do this one last question. So you're going to give it to Lauren?
Actually, she gave it to me.
Oh, okay. You ready? Okay, so, all right, go ahead.
So you've talked a lot on your podcast
I
about
have.
traveling
An awful
solo.
lot. I'm sorry, say that again.
You've talked a lot on your podcast about traveling solo, going everywhere here, there, and now.
Yeah.
Have you ever really traveled in a caravan with anybody at any time?
I have, but not. I have, but not as part of van life, and only in camping groups on a limited basis. I honestly, I don't like traveling in a group on the road. I'm perfectly fine with okay, everyone go to this campground, we'll meet at 4 o'clock, get there on your own time. I'm fine with that. But if I'm in a line of traffic following people, that is not my thing. I want to be able to stop when I want to and drive the speed I want to and all that. So, but for other people, they think, and the Army does this, it's a safety thing.
Yeah.
Everyone drives as fast as the slowest vehicle. We're all going to stick to the speed limit. that's so fine. But that is a thing, right? I mean, people do that. I mean, I just read you the ad for one. If that sounds like fun to you, where you're in this group of 10 or 12 vehicles, you're all going at the same speed. If anyone has a problem, everybody stops to help them out. You talk to each other with radios, or if you have whatever. I mean, how do you guys communicate in those? Have you done one?
I've honestly not been in a caravan before, but I hear it's fun. But I also hear it's easy to get separated if you have too many vehicles. So we're going to try and keep it at like 5 or less.
So you can like buddy system kind of thing. Like you guys stick together,
Yeah, and we're
rendezvous points. You don't have to.
Well, on Route 66, you got to stop at like the Rabbit Ranch, and then you got to get a corn dog at the corn dog. Yeah.
Yes, all the things. Yeah. And we're going to try and partner people together that are like similar traveling styles.
Yeah.
So you're a late riser. You eat mostly in your van.
Great.
You love eating out all the time. You want to stop at all the things. You want to stop at a couple of the things. Like, let's get those people that it'll be the most enjoyable experience together.
And you might also have you've got a brand new short wheelbase Sprinter, and you've got a 1964 school bus.
Right.
You might be going at different speeds.
Right. Do you want to go 45 on the hills?
Yeah, right.
Stick with the old guy in the bus. Yeah.
All right, folks, we're just about out of battery, but thank you everybody for participating. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you at another VanFest event sometime in the future.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I hope you enjoyed that. There is another interview session coming that I will get published as soon as I edit it. That involves some other folks, and it's just as interesting and perhaps even a little bit more in depth. Also coming up, I have an interview with an RV tech, an extensive interview where we talk about all kinds of things and answer your questions that you sent me. Also, I am working on doing another interview, and no, this is not turning into an interview podcast. This has just all happened at the same time, with a couple of women, one of whom is an experienced solo van lifer, and the other who is, worried about it. And I'm going to have a conversation with them and talk about their concerns and some possible solutions and perception versus reality. So that is coming up too. Thank you for listening. If you need to get a hold of me, I am Jeff at builttogo.com. That's 2 T's, not 3, not 1. And music, as always, is by Simon Wagg. I hope to catch you down the road.